Hi everyone, this is Margaret Manning with 60andMe. This is the place where women over 60 come to be inspired. And my guest today is Arian Poole. Arian is a great friend of 60andMe. She's a professional makeup artist and has always got wonderful ideas and tips for makeup and beauty. Hi, Arian.
Hi there, Margaret. It is so nice to see you again.
I just get so excited when I talk to you because you just light me up with good ideas and just beautiful, beauty ideas.
Well, I love what you're doing with 60andMe, and I love sharing with all your community and everything. So it is always a delight and honor to do it.
Thank you. Well, what we've done this time, we've done several videos with you, and we've actually got a video series as well. But what we did this time is we reached out to the community, our 100,000 women, and asked them what they would like you to help them with.
Okay.
So we've got some questions, and we're going to do a series of videos, and we're going to focus on one topic at a time.
Perfect.
So,
hey,
all right.
If it's what they want to know, I'm here to share.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. Okay. So right now it's December. It's holiday time.
It is.
And people are thinking about what they can do to just move their look to a different level, to sparkle in the holidays.
Yeah.
So what ideas do you have for us?
Well, at this time of the year, you don't have to play it safe, although you don't want to look like a done-up Christmas tree at the same time. So pick a few key areas that you would like to make up. So if you want to accent your eyes, if you feel that your eyes are your best feature, go for your eyes. If you feel that your lips are your best feature, go for your lips. If you feel that your cheeks are your best feature, go for your cheeks. Don't do all three. You can do 2 or 1, but 3 is a no-no. 3 makes you look like a pantomime dame, which I don't think anybody in the community wants to look like. So what you have to also remember, going out in the evening, the lights are lower. Now, we're doing this on the shortest day of the year. Now, the days are going to be getting longer, but we're not going to notice that until probably about April time that really kicks in. So the lights are much, much, much lower. And when you put your makeup on in your brightly lit bathroom or bedroom where you're putting your makeup on, because you want to see how you're blending it and everything, and good idea, you step out into the party that you're going to, or the dinner, or the event, New Year's, or whatever it is going to be, and suddenly you catch sight of yourself in the mirror and you think, ooh, I look really washed out. That's because you've done it for bright light, but now you're going into a much more subtle, much more subdued, almost incandescent light, that candle light, those little twinkly lights on the trees and things like that. So what I suggest is make yourself up in your regular area, then go into maybe a darker hallway, or maybe into your living room, or wherever the light is a little bit lower, and check yourself in the mirror. The chances are you're going to need probably a bit of a bolder or brighter blush, because the blush that we put on in the spring and the summer, and even in the autumn, because the light's brighter, you don't want a vibrant blush then, because you look like you're sort of Aunt Sally with those bright cheeks. Not a great look. But with that lower light in the evening, you need that. Otherwise, you look washed out. The other thing I would suggest is try a little bit of, I'm not saying sparkle on the eyes, I'm saying a little bit of shimmer. Let me show you this palette that we've got now. But there's lots of these palettes, so it's not just mine, but there's lots of these kind of palettes around. Can you see
so
that?
Pretty. Yes, I can see. Gorgeous.
And they are really nice to use, and you can just sort of play them up. I'll do a little bit on one of my eyes, just so you can see.
I love how you do this, because it makes it real. So go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the sort of charcoaly color, because I'm kind of wearing grays and goldy kind of. I've got my Christmas attire on, so I'm going to use my finger, and I'm just going to take my hand and just dot it on the corner there. And I'm going to just give it a little bit of a blend, like a little bit more smokiness. Now, I've kept my cheeks soft in this instance, because those of you who may know me and seen me, I've got very high coloring. So really, my cheeks aren't the area that I really want to emphasize. But say I didn't have that high coloring, I could put a softer, paler lip on and keep the strength on the eyes. But this kind of emphasis on the eyes is really lovely, and you can go for these kind of stronger colors. The reason I use my fingers rather than a brush is because brushes tend to fly the powder everywhere, and it's really difficult. If you're feeling uncomfortable with using your fingers, then you could try a brush, or if you may not want to use a powder, you could use, let me show you something else.
That actually makes a very big difference to the eyes. And you've got beautiful eyes, but you've got enough space to be able to put a little bit of color in there, but it's gorgeous.
It works. And even if you've got what they call the vanishing lid, some people call it hooded, but we'll get into that on another question.
Yes.
you can still use it on that kind of vanishing lid, but I'll show you the trick.
Okay, okay.
But these are really cool as well. Apart from these are the Estee Lauder powder pencils, and I really like these for the simplicity that they are, like that.
Really targeted, yeah.
Let me put a little bit on my hand. You see how they just go?
Maybe bring it down a bit, because yeah.
There, can you see that? Okay, sorry.
Yes. No, it's okay.
Yeah, they come in a whole array of colors, and these are super easy to use. So let me do the other eye with that, because I'm using a similar color, so I'm not going to look weird and goofy. So I would just take that like this, and you see how I've done that?
Yep.
And then I just blend it. And if you notice, I'm blending inwards rather than out like this. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to make my eyes look like they're drooping. So if I blend it inwards and up, I give a lifted look to my eyes.
That's really dramatic difference, actually, Arian.
Yeah.
I do have one question for you with colors, because a lot of people, women, will wear red in the holidays. And I've actually got a red top on today myself. And when I was putting my makeup on today, I wasn't sure what color eyeshadow to use with red.
Charcoals look beautiful. You can't, with soft grays, charcoals, even navy blues look really, really pretty. And they work really well, again, in this kind of light that we're seeing in. It's a really great kind of look. So I would go for those kind of colors. If you're somebody who sort of leans more to warmer tones, you can go for a really dark, almost brown black color rather than a warm brown, because that's too much warmth with the red, and then that browns have that reddy color in them anyway. So I would err on the side of going for the sort of charcoals, the grays, that kind of look. That looks so pretty.
I should have asked you before I got my makeup on, because I actually put your purple on. Well, then I just smudged that. So
yeah, but that purple's got a slight gray undertone.
Yes, it does actually.
It's really good. So that I think works that way, and it doesn't scream out purple. Although purple and red do really go well together, because they're kind of
cool colors.
Cooler purple in that color that you're using, but it works really, really well.
Okay, so eyes we've got, and I love your tip about only focusing on one area of the face or two areas of the face, because I think you're right. We don't want to overdo it, but
you don't want to look like because you end up looking like a Christmas tree, and it does not look good. The other thing I really like for the cheeks. So if you are somebody that wanted to play up your cheeks, you've got beautiful cheeks. So I would use your regular blush, but then I would pop something like this Bobbi Brown shimmer brick over the top of that, and that gives it this sort of lovely glow. It's not frosty, it's not shiny or anything like that. It's actually really, really gorgeous, and that would work beautifully for somebody who wants to maybe emphasize their cheeks a little bit more. And then,
well, I actually use NARS, the Orgasm, which has also got a little bit of shimmer in it too.
Yeah, but so anything like that,
it's
that
great.
Catches the light, especially if you remember I was saying that it's all kind of candle low light. It looks really, really pretty.
Perfect.
And then the other thing I really noticed, and I noticed it really for me myself as well, which is, we stick to the same lipsticks, but when we get into these sort of months where the light is low, and the light outside right now is a very blue light, and you need to have a little bit more of a bolder color. That doesn't mean that you have to go from a soft pale nude to sort of burgundy or anything like that. You don't have to be quite so dramatic. What I would suggest, if you want to take baby steps, is if you do a pinky color, a soft pinky color in the summer, go for more of a raspberry color in the winter. You'll see it works really well with the light outside, because we're mainly seeing outside or indoors, but the light is still a cold light.
Okay. All right. This is great. I think you've given us some great ideas. And I especially like the idea of looking at your makeup in a darkened room or in a hallway, because I think you're right that when you go out in the evening, it's going to be a little shadowy and dark, and you want to sparkle.
Yeah, you don't want to look like you put all that effort in. Why do you want to look like you haven't done anything? That is
exactly.
That's like,
you will be invisible then.
Yeah, you will. And we make ourselves invisible. So make yourself not invisible. Make yourself visible, but in a beautiful, positive way.
Great suggestions. Thanks, Arian, and have a very happy Christmas.
You too.
Thanks.